Good morning, all. So nice to see everyone rolling in here to Zoom and seeing the tiles populated. Couple of announcements before we get going here. First up is the fall in-person residential retreat. Gonna be at the Sarah Retreat Center. That's October 22nd through October 27th. I'll be putting the links to all of the events that we talk about here in the chat, so you'll be able to just click on that and go register. And let me bring up the masterclass. This is the fourth go around of the masterclass. No worries if you haven't made it to the first three versions. It's always new material and always excellent. So those run September through April. So it's 8 classes. You can sign up for them all at once or sign up for classes individually, and I'll be posting that as well. But without further ado, I want to turn it over to Timo today. We're excited to have him lead us.
Hey, good morning. Hi, everyone. Good Sunday morning, your miraculous awakening wonders. And thank you for allowing me to hold you today, hold your hearts and minds. It's the thing I love the most in my life, so nothing but gratitude. Gratitude to the Lama and all those around him that love him, that we have this beautiful family of loving intent. Looking around the tiles a little. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. I'll go to the next page too. Maybe you also switch to gallery view unless you enjoy my big head on the screen, but maybe a bit of sitting in a circle in the Sangha as a family is a good thing too. So here we are. So let's take a breath together, just a beautiful breath. Don't start any meditating or anything silly, or don't stop meditating. Just shift your mind into the presence, which will resonate through your life more and more. Because sometimes all the stuff we do and don't do can be kind of a venue or a channel for the ambient worry or sorrow even that can be ever resonating, an ever resonating backdrop to our lives. And sometimes we experience dukkha or unsatisfactoriness taking over, a kind of undefinable longing for some other life. And we softly reach for this other imaginary life, which softly is resonating in the background of the now, but we never really get to experience it. So our life is constantly reaching, and it can be very subtle and subliminal, but it's a bit of a tension field. Yet the imaginary person we wish to be is already here right now, and from the Sochen perspective in all its perfect glory. And it includes absolutely everything what it feels like to be us right now. Even when we have a little bit of a crooked face going, not completely what I wish to be, but just, it's about, as the 16th Karmapa always used to say, relax. Just relax the mind, relax the reaching, coming home to the all good. This is the meditation of relaxing, not feet on the coffee table, but just, as Lama Surya says, dropping and flopping. So take a breath and just drop and flop. And not the the oscillating, often, which we often see at retreats too, the meditator and the one that's reaching for information. So just don't switch, just be open and present through the whole flow of an hour of togetherness. So we set our intent indeed to be awakened at all times within every moment of experience at any decibel level. And the beauty of it is, if we just taking the intention to look already shifts us out of the ordinary mind into awakened mind. And then there it is, spontaneous presence, or self-sprung awareness, the stream of being, self-evident, like the aha of I amness. And then we can ask later, who is this that says I? Self-knowing, timeless awareness, or self-cognizing awareness. Stream of being, Lundrup in Tibetan, just that spontaneous, in the very immediacy of the now, right there. I saw even a translation of Longchenpa, self-generating, ever-fresh awareness. Self-generating, by itself arising in every moment, suffusing all experience. And then, yeah, here we come together, and it's with this deep care that we gather our breath and energy and awareness in this Sangha, this sweet collective. We notice the innocence and faultlessness of our distractions and obsessions. The innocence of our hearts. Just feel into that. Just feel into your heart and realize that soft reaching for happiness, which in these profound circumstances transfers or transforms into the wish of happiness of all beings. Our minds have become so deeply accustomed to go searching for pleasure and to always be seeking safety and avoidance of pain, for finding a way out of the sticky web of doubt and insecurity. Our cravings and desires always take us away from the love we already are. It seduces us towards an experience as if love is found elsewhere but our own hearts. So maybe take another breath with me and come to rest in the love you already are. And when we come to rest in and as the goodness of our own hearts, there is this deep promise and commitment to forgiving ourselves, forgiving our minds, forgiving our bodies, and ultimately realizing there was nothing to be forgiven for, but we just commit to the flow of accepting all that we are. So indeed, we transcend, we open up into the big, open, cosmic, wide, boundless wholeness of being. And then we integrate again everything we are, because the Buddha has some stuff to do in the world. And then when we truly accept everything we are and really feel who we are from the boundless wisdom perspective, then there's an understanding compassionately of the tender human condition of all beings. And we reunite with this wide openness of awakened awareness love. And why do we always add love to that? Because awareness, the open spaciousness of being, welcomes unquestionably all experience. And we develop a tender connection with the sensations in our body and our breath and our energy. And we lay down the belief that we reside somewhere in our head, as if this center point of being is somewhere behind our eyes. And maybe then when we lay that down, that localization, then we open up into an unpartitioned, boundless field of knowing. We don't want to disconnect this spontaneous, luminous presence from just simply experiencing what it feels like to be you right now. So welcome. welcome us as a collective, welcome me on my seat. And then from our practice over time, it becomes clear and we acquire a very apparent realization of what it is we are not, which causes our limiting beliefs, which appear as clouds masking our sky-like nature, true nature, to vanish like a vapor in the atmosphere. So what are we not? I am not, number one, I'm not my thoughts, feelings, emotions, and perceptions. I am that which knows them. And then right there behind there, the second realization is I'm not the illusion of an imaginary self or identity. So after we take refuge with a couple chants or prayers, I will guide a little dissolving of the personal identity or self, and then we open up into a boundless wholeness meditation. And by freeing ourselves of our narcissistic self-conscious fixations, we open up into a clearer awareness, which has been cleared from the complications, in my case, the egoic fixations of a Timo-ness resonating. So just notice that resonance, just this shimmer, this vapor in the sky, which feels like you. And yes, so vivid and real, and so subject to all the winds of samsara, the howling winds of samsara sometimes. But yet, we are so much more than that in this open, boundless wholeness. And yet, this sense of self is quite possibly our first, most basic and primary experience in our lives. But the problem is when we originate or acquire our sense of self from a fictional story in our minds, it will impact all and color all our experiences. And our lives will be experienced in a completely artificial way. And it will spawn unending neediness. But when we allow the non-existing identity to dissolve and we shift into limitless excellence, we experience our minds beyond limitations of self and time and space. And the innate primordial qualities of the openness of being are bliss and love and peace and profound wisdom, and they flourish freely when we step out of the way. So we're actually learning to step out of the way so the innate love and creativity can flow freely. And may us coming together here and our beautiful practice here today and whenever we shift our mind, just a tiny little shift, there it is, right there. May our beautiful practice and intent become the driving force of evolution of humankind and all beings indeed. That's our intent. And the less self-conscious we are, the more we can feel this love and joy. So indeed, learning to function in life free of the dictatorial oppression of a conditioned imaginary self. And that is in itself life-freeing and enhancing. So we're enhancing our lives. As Lama Surya often quotes Meister Eckhart, he says, the eye through which I see God is the same eye through which God sees me. And then Master Eckhart goes on, my eye and God's eye are one seeing, one knowing, one love. There's that love again. That is the default of the open Buddha heart in the world. It does not know any different than keeping the compass on love. And then all appearance or everything flowing through the body, energy and mind, has the same texture as wind and rain. And we notice with a breath of relief that sitting as the presence of awareness knowingly is an expression of a certain kind of love. So indeed, here I'll give it some form. I'll ask you indeed to sit as the presence of awareness, love, knowingly right now. I know that I know, and I know that amness is here, beingness. Indeed, that's an expression of a certain kind of love. And when our love flows authentically, free of attachment to outcome, it manifests as a radiant full presence, free of attachment to outcome. So we become fully present with our lives. And from becoming so intimately true with ourselves, we emit harmonious healing gift waves in this boundless radiant field of empty awareness space, in this interconnected sea of beings. And then this experience of having a path or having a Dharma path feels like goodness. And then the longing for happiness and peace is actually in admitting that peace and happiness are not here. And we come to know more and more that there is no destination but the path itself. And the path itself is goodness upon goodness. And then we fall in love with the path and the Dharma. And look, here we are. You showed up. Right? So this self-love is not the self-embrace of the arms. It's where do we show up in the world? Here you are. Thank you. Just allow thank you to arise in your heart right now for bringing yourself to these places where everybody wishes for world peace. And the more we become familiar with our practice, the less doubt we feel about our practice. And we also relieve doubt about ourselves. And the heart of these teachings are compassion. So let's set our intent for our practice today and for the rest of our lives. Set the intention of our mind. First, we remind ourselves why we are doing this practice. So we let go of any limiting beliefs and begin by promising to ourselves to allow the objective of this practice to be turned towards awakening and making every moment of our practice count sincerely. And by setting this intention, it's there always intelligently saturating our awareness as an essential motivating basis. It's always there to remind you why you're doing this practice. And may the unfolding and blossoming of that realization be like planting compassionate spores in the mind streams of all beings, in this unified, interrelated ocean of awakened awareness space. And may they all ripen and flourish into the elimination of all undesirable states and the prospering of all positive qualities. And we set our intention so our practice is not purposeless. So, please, Nathan, would you put on the 4 immeasurable aspirations? Thank you, that was quick. May all beings possess happiness and the inner causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the inner causes of suffering. May all beings remain undivided from the sacred joy which is free from suffering. May all beings come to rest in great peace and equanimity, beyond attachment and aversion to friends, enemies, or strangers. Bless and empower us that our minds and hearts turn toward the Dharma. Bless and empower us that our Dharma practice becomes the path. Bless and empower us that the path truly dispels confusion. Bless and empower us that confusion itself dawns as primordial awareness. And bless and empower us that all difficult mind states arise as primordial love. The expression of primordial wisdom or love, interchangeable. And here the 7-line supplication, letting the archetype of these teachings in this lineage arise in our hearts. Realizing that this song is right now sounding in thousands of places around the world in this interconnected world of beings. And if chanting is not really your thing, just let your voice resonate and habituate sounding from an open spaciousness, from the presence of being. So allow your voice to resonate with love. O Horjin Yulji Noob Jang Song Pe Marge Sardong Pola Yatsen Choki Nuru Nye Pe Mai Jung Ne Jesu Drak Gordu Kandro Mang Pokor Kieki Jesu Dar Druki Jinji Lapshir Shek Su So Guru Pe Mai Siri Ungo Ma Ungo Ma Ungo Ma Ungo O Ma Hung Benzar Guru Pe Mai Siri 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 Let these syllables of perfect knowledge resonate. The wisdom of millennia, let it resonate. Trust. O Ma Hung Benzar Guru Pe Mai Siri 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 Hung, the resonating syllable of awakened awareness of Rigpa. Hung, 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 the sounding dissipating in the same space that the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and perceptions dissolve and arise, dissolve and arise. What it feels like to be us, dissolve and arise. Maybe close your eyes for a few minutes, not withdrawing in a safe harbor, being really present. And as Lama Surya often guides, please turn around your attention 180 degrees and look back upon the perceiver. And indeed pop the question, who or what is it that is sitting here? Wondering, who or what am I? Who or what is it that is present? And in your presence of awareness, now bring forth a vibrant sense of self, of what it feels like to be you. As humans, we know how to bring forth a self-examining awareness. This metacognitive capacity is so beautiful. So just truthfully observe the apparent individual identity. What does it feel like to be you right now? Get really intimate with your apparent self. Notice any personality features or qualities that you recognize so intimately about your apparent separate identity. And please now open up into awareness and saturate your field of experience with that knowing quality. And see if you can find any self-existing identity. See if there's any substance to it. Really look into it. Kind of the all-at-onceness feel of the body and mind continuum. Can you find any independent self-existing identity anywhere in your body? Anywhere in the movement of mind? Please look for it. Gaze deeply from looking for it with light speed awareness. And no matter where you look, it keeps evaporating. The object you seek keeps evaporating as unfindable. The term unfindable in Tibetan is nyime, can't be found. But keep looking into it. This arising does feel vivid, yet insubstantial. No matter how meticulous you search throughout your body, mind, it just keeps flowing away. Just evaporating as something that cannot be found. Or never even coming into complete existence. We wish to experience this realization of unfindableness. And once you become deeply confident as a truly direct experience that you cannot find this separating existing individuality, you realize, indeed, so insubstantial, often called empty. Now take a breath with me, please. And please shift back into letting go into the field of awareness, which is now free from the obstacles of a personal identity, cleaned up from the complication, in my case, of what it feels like to be Timo. Please come to be free as the flow of awareness knowingly, the stream of being as that liberated field of awareness. One of the gates, awareness gone beyond the construct of the pesky self. So little time to be distracted, yet an ocean of time to be present. When you go beyond the sense of self, what remains? Luminous, brilliantly awakened awareness. When you're ready, open your eyes. If you don't open your eyes, gaze through the eyelids into the light. And if you open your eyes, don't particularize the all-at-onceness gaze. Open up completely, gazing from the heart. Space mingling. Mingle awareness in the space that saturates everything around. And mingle space into awareness. Notice that everything comes and goes. Yet the constancy of awareness, the always right here-ness of awareness, does not fluctuate in time. Establish indeed that it does not change. It is always right with us. Right with us. And then recognize its boundless nature. Flow out in all directions without bound. Awareness pouring into awareness. And without the pesky self or a meditator, it flows by itself, from within itself, as itself. And if you're a little distracted, it's just a sign of the beautiful creativity of your mind. Just return, relax, relax the mind, yet vividly present. Welcome back. Always right here. And boundless. Where can you be where we are not? When there is movement of mind, it's just the liveliness of Rick Power, awakened awareness, the playfulness. All sights are awareness, all sounds are awareness, all thoughts and feelings and emotions are awareness. And all perceptions are awareness. Discern there is no inside, no outside, no within, no without. If it has to be a word, all within. And relax the mind a little and allow some of the usual flow, but stay present. Because an unwatched flow of thoughts has a negative bias, a tendency for negative bias. Just let things come and go. And have a co-occurring mind. The creativity of loving intent in the world mind. No matter how mundane it may appear right now. And the boundless wholeness. A simultaneous perspective. And that's how we live our lives. So this is the flow of spacious liberation. And if letting the mind bubble a little in the sphere of awakened awareness is a bit distracting, you can do some deliberate mind wandering. Let an archetype arise from a tantric tradition or from your life or a beautiful vista. Yet don't lose the wide open, spacious freedom perspective. Boundlessly aware. I am, which knows my experience lovingly. And in this boundless interconnectedness and vivid awakefulness, again we let the intent arise that our awakening may be for the purpose of all beings. May they all be healed and whole again. And may the world be healed and renewed. May we be the essence of healing for all sentient beings in this interconnected sea of beings. May we express innate love, happiness, and peace. May our hearts shine with compassionate understanding in this interconnected sea indeed. And we vow to stay open and connected to our innermost wholeness. And we wish to hold all those that enter our realm so they may find their own boundless wholeness and creativity. Lama Surya says something like this: may we all be together in love and acceptance, one beloved community, one family, heart to heart, where we just walk each other home. So let's take a last collective breath together, like a soft pet. Take a breath. Let go of any movement and visualizations and intent. Just open up again into boundless sphere of being, always right with us. For more minutes. When we hold our minds in this simultaneous perspective of the awakened one in the world, the awakened loving one in the world, and the wide openness of awakened awareness, we no longer grasp for happiness in all the wrong places. We really deeply understand what it means to us to lead a good life. A life with an absence of lack and a wish to hold all those that enter our realm. And indeed, on behalf of all beings, thank you so much for your beautiful practice. Nathan, please can we have the closing prayers? Gewa di nudu dak zokpa chempo drup gyurnye droa chikyang malupa dei sala gopar shok. Through this virtue, may we swiftly realize and fully embody the natural great perfection, and that will bring all without exception to its complete realization. Jiang chup sem chok wimpo she makye panang kye gyurche kye panyam par me paharyang gong ne gong du pelvar shok. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. May all beings may all beings everywhere with whom we're inseparably interconnected and who want and need the same as we do, may they be awakened, liberated, healed, fulfilled, safe, and free. May there be peace and harmony in this world, an end to war, violence, poverty, and hunger, inequality and oppression, greed and cruelty, pandemics, famine, droughts, earthquakes, all kinds of disasters. May all be free from fear, harm, danger, anxiety, and insecurity. May we better prepare ourselves for the natural calamities that beset us all, and may we all together complete the spiritual journey, one beloved community, one circle, one family, all the way home indeed. Thank you so much. If anything is bubbling up in you, we have a couple minutes. Maybe about your practice today or in general, realizations or the lack of them. Scrolling through the pages, I see.
Go ahead, Edward.
Edward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I try to. Anyway, can be quick.
Hey,
Hi. Now I was reading and seeing with naked awareness about mental understanding, experience, and realization. Okay, like stages. And I did have I guess, I don't know, a few months ago, just a sort of cognition or dream or something that the interior mind is identical to exterior forms. Okay, that was the thing. But a couple of days ago, I awakened, and there was I was always impressed by Adyashanti having an awakening, his first awakening experience, where he was exasperated with his efforting in meditation and woke up, and heard a bird, and he was the bird. He looked at his wife, he was his wife. He looked outside, he was the washing machine. But anyway, so in terms of, okay, so I had that dream thing about, inside, outside, and I could talk about Gospel Thomas, but I mean, anyway, cutting to the chase here. So I awoke, and there was like some rap music of a car going by, and I don't care for most rap music, but anyway, I had a lot of equanimity toward it, and I was the music. I go, oh, so I am the music. So anyway, I'm just So I'm relating that to Adyashanti, and then that dream thing about, inside outside, as, going from, let's say, mental understanding or insight or something to experience. And then from then, I guess one would go to realization. Anyway, so that's a report. And if you have any comments or not.
That was a report. That was a nice kind of improvisation on a non-dual experience or non-duality, I guess. So the I am that. And yeah, so
I am that. So Nisargadatta, you go, okay, well, what is I am that? What does that mean? And I was just thinking, actually just writing it down, nirguna and saguna are the same, that in like Hindu terms. So nirguna is the emptiness or rigpa maybe, and saguna is just a world of manifestation, and that he was both, I am that, and they are the same. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form.
Yeah. So
go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, indeed. So even then, when we start like even trying to have a non-dual experience, you're already stuck in somewhat of a duality. So it's usually real spontaneous, like moment, like you were describing, and also that's why I said earlier that no within and no without. But if it has to be somewhere, if there is an anywhere, it's all within, right? So ultimately, it's all arising within. So that's something that I play with. So it's like I kind of open up the within to include the without or something like that, So, but it gets a little abstract or something like that. But it's something to play with. You can just set the intent to like, oh yeah, I'm falling into all my experience, or integrate all experience into my sphere of being.
I could add too. I was at let me add, I'm no badass, but I was at a martial arts convention and yesterday, and I went to some seminars, but anyway, what I noticed was in the past I would always have I was always attracted to this stuff, but I had a mild bemusement and disdain at the same time for my teachers and the teaching. And this time I just had like equanimity for everybody, I just no judgment. To speak of like 400 or 500 people there. And I go, oh, well, this is good.
Well realized. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for always sharing so deeply wherever you show up with us.
Thank you. Wonderful teaching today, or whatever you want to call it.
Flow.
It did.
We have a couple more. We have a couple more minutes. So if anybody is bubbling up, please share now. Or we remain ever silent. So we have a complete morning then. And thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Timo. Thank you for your time, and thank you to the whole Sangha here for joining today. So nice to see everyone. Reminder in the chat, we've got the in-person retreat masterclass. Go to dzogchen.org. You can see all of the stuff there. Become a member, donate, all that is available online. So nice to see everyone. Timo, thanks again. Take care, everybody.